What a beautiful Wednesday it is. What is up, Rangers fans? By this time, I'd imagine you've probably already seen my draft lottery reaction, playoff predictions, every other video I posted the past 3 days. But today, so I don't know if I'm going to split this up into different videos or just get it all out now. Knowing me, I'm probably just going to spill it out now. But I just want to shoot the shit and talk Rangers. I have a bunch of topics I want to talk about. I want to talk about the draft and what we should do and who we should look at the draft. And where I think we'll pick and all the scenarios that can play out for us. Re-sign stage and free agency, and realistic outlook for next season. You know, actually, I'm going to go ahead and split it up into 3 different videos because I'm an inconsistent uploader. I suck at it. So this video, I'll just do the draft. We'll talk about all the possibilities we have. And my dog is very excited for this video. We're going to talk about all the draft possibilities there are for the Rangers. I'm actually going to raise my chair a little bit. All the possibilities there are, who I think we should draft with what pick, and what I don't know. Just shut up, okay? Be quiet. First, we're going to go to Elite Prospects because I love Elite Prospects. It's where I get all my information. Just pull up the draft sheet for this upcoming draft. We're going to go to Cap Friendly to see what picks we have. And I think that's it. Who do I trust the most? HockeyProspect.com or Future Considerations? I'm going to go ISS Hockey. And I'll go HockeyProspect.com. They're usually pretty good. Okay. And then 1 second. You know, no. I'm not gonna use ISS because they don't even have Podcold in top 3. Okay. And Cap Friendly, we'll go teams. We'll go Rangers. Okay. So best case scenario, right? And actually, I'll use NHL.com to back this up. Go to standings. All right. So, we have our first-round pick. That is now 2nd overall. And the Winnipeg Jets' first-round pick. Best case scenario, Vegas, Dallas, Columbus, St. Louis, and Carolina all win their first round of the playoffs. If they all win, Winnipeg's pick becomes the 16th overall pick in the draft. So, let's sit here and just pretend that somehow we got the 16th overall pick. With that, Dallas somehow makes it to the Western Conference Finals. So we get... oh, my God. We get the 27th overall pick, and the Lightning win the Cup, so we get the 31st overall pick. So let's just pretend in the most ideal scenario, we got 2, 16, 27, 31. Which, not going to happen. However, I'm a dreamer. So... we take a look at HockeyProspect.com's rankings. We can kind of reference who will be getting when and where. I don't think there's there's always a chance. I don't want to say shot in hell. But I think we can almost guarantee the Devils are going to take Jack Hughes with the 1st overall pick. Kaapo Kakko is the obvious number 2nd. I'm not going to sit here and make a case for anybody over Kaapo Kakko. I think right now, Jack Hughes is definitely a better prospect than Kaapo Kakko. However, you could seriously make a case that I don't want to say it because I know I'll get shit for it, but Kaapo Kakko could end up being a much better player than Jack Hughes. Could be. Don't pin me to the cross, please. You can crucify me. I think it's possible. You know, Hughes and Kaapo Kakko are in a similar situation. The Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine thing. Now, Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine are franchise prospects, especially in the case of Austin Matthews. You know, Laine didn't have a great year, and they're better than Hughes and Kaapo Kakko. But the situation is similar. An American center, a Finnish winger, the Finnish winger making a serious case to be number 1 overall. However, you just cannot deny the number 1 overall consensus pick, Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews. You just can't deny what their ceilings and where they're at now. And it's just, I don't know. It's a case of people are going to argue who they're going to take 1st overall. It's as simple as if the Devils passed up on Jack Hughes for Kaapo Kakko, even I would be surprised. I think they'd be out of their freaking minds, just to be honest with you. Now, moving on. Enough with that talk. The Rangers get Kaapo Kakko with the 2nd overall pick. Moving on. So number 16. So this is how I'm going to tie this in. 13. We'll do 13 through. Yeah, 13 through 20. 13 through 20, 21. We'll give a wide range because this draft's pretty freaking deep. Who do I think the Rangers would take with that pick? If we had 16th overall, right? Smack in the middle. Well, it depends. So this is a very, very, very deep draft. However, you don't start seeing defensemen until around picks 11 through 30. And you see a really good amount that you got Moritz Seider, you got Victor Soderstrom, Cam York, the other Finnish kid. See if I got, yeah, Ville Heinola, Ryan Johnson, Philip Broberg, Matthew Robertson, Thomas Harley, yada, 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 yada. So I guess it's up to the Rangers to decide, do they want to draft another defenseman, which you have a pretty deep defenseman pool. Granted, we don't really have a defenseman standout prospect right now. I mean, Keandre Miller really appears to be the only prospect we have that has like a top 2 ceiling. And now I could be, and I hope I'm wrong about that, but right now, like if we were playing NHL, Keandre Miller would be low elite. You know, we don't have medium elite. We don't have that go-to defensive prospect at the moment. And I don't think you're going to find that at 16th overall, not in this draft. With that being said, there are some defensemen I'm looking at that I might take with that 16th overall pick. But you drafted you had 3 first-round picks last year. You used 2 of them on defensemen with Keandre Miller and Nils Lundqvist. You got guys like Yegor Rykov coming up. Tony DeAngelo had a great year. You still have Neil Pionk if you don't move him. A bunch of guys in the farm. You still got Sean Day, who had a freaking awesome year. I'll cross-reference this on, Nico Gross had a solid year. Sammy Gjelberg, I didn't really hear a lot about him this year. Nils Lundqvist had a phenomenal year in the S. Keandre Miller had a phenomenal rookie year. Freshman year in the NCAA was setting freaking local records. It was just unreal. Jacob Ragnarsson, heard a bunch of good things about him, but then again, not a super standout. Tomo Reunanen, sorry, I'm butchering his name. He had a phenomenal year, broke the hell out. He's going to be 22 years old next year. I think he's moving up to the Liga or the SHL. He did get a promotion to the top league. Don't sleep on this kid. He's looking really good. A bunch of guys I'm following on Twitter, a lot of like scouts, stuff like that, are saying Tomo Reunanen. I wish I could pronounce his name correctly, and I'm sorry. Appears like he's going to be a really, really solid defenseman for a long time, and could be a top 4 defenseman in the NHL if he continues the path that he's on. Yegor Rykov is the same thing. He had an absolute stunning year. Struggled at the beginning part of the year with, I know my hair's sticking. I got bedhead. I just woke up. Yegor Rykov, struggling in Scott. They traded him to Metallurg, I think. I forgot. But when he played there, he was playing like 20-something minutes a night. Was absolutely killing it and looks like a phenomenal prospect at the moment. Callie Shalin, if I'm correct. Yes. Phenomenal year. Was playing like stupid minutes a night and got promoted to the SHL. So he'll be in the SHL next year as a 20-year-old. Yeah, as a 20-year-old. So the defensive prospect, I think right now we have a clump of good to really good prospects, but we don't have a great defensive prospect. That's why in one of my other videos I was saying prior to the draft lottery, I was saying if we had the 5th or 6th overall pick, I'd be okay with us taking Bowen Byram. At the moment, I'm not okay with that. Right now, it's got to be Kaapo Kakko. Now, with all those defensemen I just mentioned, you still have a 25-year-old Brady Shea signed for another 5 years after this one. You got 23-year-old Neil Pionk, 23-year-old Tony DeAngelo, 21-year-old Libor Hayek, who had a friggin' awesome 2 games. What a shame. With us, and I think he proved everyone wrong. I mean, he was having a very, very, very shitty year in the AHL. Looked like crap. People were worried that he was a bust. Came into the NHL, shut everyone the hell up, tore it up for the 2 games he was here, and then just got hurt. It's a shit shame. I forgot the Rangers signed Patrick Newell. I don't know why they did that. Anyways, also, you had Ryan Lindgren, 21 years old. And the few games he played with the Rangers this year, both back in, I think, December or January, looked freaking awesome. I'm surprised they sent him down. I don't know why they did. I would have kept him up for the entire year the way he was playing. Killed it in Hartford. Then came up the last couple games in the NHL again. 2 awesome freaking games. I loved watching Ryan Lindgren play. I was beyond happy with how he played. Rob O'Gara, he'll be released. Chris Bigris, I don't think we're re-signing him. I don't know why. I disagree with that Ryan Graves for Bigris trade the day it happened. I thought it was dumb. Graves is in the NHL. Bigris is in the minors. Probably going to end up being Rangers just going to drop him. They're not even probably not even going to re-sign him. Brandon Crawley. Everyone wants to keep sleeping on this kid. Both preseasons he's played with us, he's impressed. This year in Hartford, he had career highs in goals, career high in assists, 15 points. Yeah, Brandon Crawley's freaking awesome. Now, the thing is, he's 22 years old. Going to be 23 years old next February 2nd. So he's, I don't want to say he's getting up there in age, but, you know, he's not as young as a Sean Day and Lindgren and those other guys I mentioned before. But don't sleep on Brandon Crawley. I think he could be an NHL defenseman, a 6th or 7th defenseman. Probably not going to happen with the Rangers. I think we could and should explore maybe moving him, especially with the really deep defensive prospect pool we have. And we have a lot of guys like him. Sean Day. Now, Sean Day, I think, is a guy you could strap low elite potential on if this was an NHL game. His skating is beyond elite. He could right now skate in the NHL. Skating ability. It's everything else that's got to come with it. I don't know. Sean Day, really impressed this year. Killed it. They sent him down to Maine. So the year before, he was in the OHL. He was with Windsor. Windsor traded him to Kingston. He was over a point per game in Kingston. This year, he spent 19 games in Maine. He had 15 points on an okay Maine team, lower-level Maine team. In Hartford, very, very shitty Hartford team again. 12 points, 3 goals, should have been 4. After further review, it was 4 in overtime. Didn't count it. And 12 points in 43 games. And he did not look out of place. His skating, everything was there. Now, with that being said, I think right now you have to give 1 second. Okay, just want to make sure. I thought my video got taken down. With that being said, I think Sean Day should get, unless he absolutely just comes to camp in shredded shape and kills it in the preseason, I think we should see one more season in the AHL for Sean Day and then bump him to the NHL. Because I think this kid, I mean, what a sleeper pick he was. I think he is right now on the path to becoming a full-time NHL defenseman and still has a chance at becoming maybe a number 2 or number 3 defenseman. I fully believe that. It wasn't that long ago this kid was the consensus number 1 pick in his draft and was supposed to be a top-flight defenseman, number 1 around the league. Some shit happened. I think his father died, messed with his head. He's coming back to Rangers, took a chance on him, and I mean, they got to be loving it right now because he is killing it. Darren Radish, we got him for Peter Holland in the Chicago trade. Did it right in Hartford. Yeah, he had 26 points in 54 games, so he had a 0.5 point per game. He was on pace for about 40 points. With Rockford, came to the Wolfpack, -7, only 3 assists. I wouldn't buy too much into this kid. I don't know. 23 years old. Yeah. Just got a text message. Julius Bergman. He was a throw-in in the McQuaid deal. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back overseas. Or we released him. I don't see him staying. John Gilmore is a UFA Group 6, which means Gonzo. I'd like to keep him because I really like John Gilmore. I like the way he skates. But I don't see it happening. Joey Keane. Now, I thought this kid, the way he played in preseason, I thought, and I seriously thought, he had a shot at making the NHL out of camp, and I thought he should have. Joey Keane, I would be surprised if he did not start the season in the NHL next season. He did that good in camp last year. He did that good in juniors again this year. I get messages all the time from people that watch him play that he is consistently one of the best players on the ice, and he doesn't even look like he's trying in juniors. Get this kid in the league. I love Joey Keane. Joey Keane is another guy. I think you could strap a low elite on him, and it would make sense because he just has that high of a ceiling. In the OHL this year, between the London Knights and the Barrie Colts, he put up 39 points. Not as much as he did last year. Granted, he was on 2 shoddy teams for the most part. London was all right, but didn't get too far in the playoffs. I like Joey Keane. I think he should be in the league. So, going back to the defensive part of things. With all those names being said, and no defenseman on the board that absolutely takes your breath away, do you draft the defenseman? Because you can make a case the Rangers have a really deep forward prospect pool too, which is really, really high ceiling players at every position. I think I would draft a center with the 16th overall pick, especially if a center like Alex Newhook is on the board. I would draft I would draft Alex Newhook with the 16th overall pick. If we get the 16th overall pick, even if we drop back to 20, I would draft Alex Newhook hands down. Now, 27th overall pick, this is where it gets kind of confusing because there's really not much going on. I think with the 27th overall pick, oh, you know what? I would draft that kid, Nils Hoglander. I've seen nothing but good things about him in the SHL this year. He had 14 points in 50 games. Nils Hoglander, I definitely draft with this 27th overall pick. I would jump off the board and grab him. The 31st overall pick, I think this is where you might want to look at a defenseman. The defenseman that would be available, you might get a Thomas Harley if he drops. Could also look to trade in this pick, but if we're just going off of you have to draft, I think you definitely take Thomas Harley if he drops, or Matthew Robertson. I don't think they'll drop, but if they do, you definitely take one of them. If not, Alexander Jackson's not bad. He only played 15 games with W. Maybe Alan McCade. Who is this? Oh, Alan McCade. 6'7", 190-pound defenseman. Hell yes. Oh yeah. Gonna go to Providence College. Yeah. Oh, he played for the Mid-Fairfield Rangers. Oh, he's from Bedford. Hell yeah, you draft this kid, Alan McCade. Hell yeah. All right, there you go. So there's my pick for the draft. You go Kaapo Kakko, Alex Newhook, Nils Hoglander, Alan McCade. That's my picks for the draft. I'm not going to do the second round because right now I'm just doing the most ideal scenario. In reality, we're probably going to only end up with 2 first-round picks. It's probably going to be number 2, and Winnipeg I'm sure is going to win a round, so you're probably going to get like 22nd to 20 to 25, in which case use that pick to draft Hoglander. Anyways, that's going to be my little draft summary roundup thingy. I'm not going to go on too much long with this. I've wasted enough of your time. Comment down below who you think will get in the draft. The most ideal scenario picks 2, 16, 27, 31. Let me know who you think we should draft or will draft, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.